I will. Wait. Yes. Let's move to part number 2. Can you see the screen?
Yes. Could you
Yes.
zoom in, please?
Yeah.
I am. I'm zooming in. It's okay. It's okay. Don't
Okay.
zoom in. Describe
Fine.
a family.
Yes.
Begin.
I'll start my 1 minute, right? To let you take notes on this topic.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Can I start?
Okay. Let me start. May I start?
Yes, please start.
Okay. There are a lot of events in my life, especially related to my family. But today I will talk about an event I am waiting for it so badly. It's my cousin's wedding, Dina. We are so close to each other, so it will be an special event. I am so happy for her. Um, she will get married after 2 months from now, on October, next October. Uh, her wedding will be held at a hotel. It will be a fancy and fine wedding party, and because, in my opinion, she deserves the best. I will wear a fine suit, a fine new suit, especially for this event, and all the family, all over the country and all over the world will be there. My cousins, my cousins and my aunts will be here from Germany. They will travel especially for Dina to join her wedding party. Um, I will celebrate and dance, and I'll take photos with my family. It will be a fantastic party and a fantastic event. I'm I'm taking over a very special responsibility regarding the organizing of that night. I'll be the special organizer for catering. I love food, cuisine very much, so I'll be responsible for it. However, it will be held in a fancy hotel. I think it needs my contribution.
Yes, great. Then let's move to the next questions. Did you help to plan this event?
Yeah, yes. As I mentioned before, I, I contributed to planning as in catering. I love food, I love cuisine, and I think I have a good taste. So I will choose um, some appetizers and beverage, and of course the main dish, because a big buffet will be held. Um, so so this is my contribution. She asked me to do so because
Yes.
um, okay, yes.
Yeah, this is fair enough. Does your family often have special events?
Um, no big special events except celebrating religious events and feasts with each other and birthday parties, of course. But it's not very special and it's not very big. They're just the family gather together with pastry, mainly a large cake, and it's homemade all the time. and some appetizers and some small pizzas, and that's it. We take photographs and drinking beverages, and we speak to each other, and
Yes. Then let's
it's
talk about let's talk about family celebrations. What type of special occasions are generally celebrated in your country?
um, we have religious events, two feasts, and we have some national events, uh, like celebration of freedom, or of liberation of Sinai, for example, and of course spring celebration, the arrival of spring. So we have different kinds of events in our country,
How
and it differs.
important, yes, how
Yeah,
important is it for families to celebrate occasions together?
it's so important because we live in we live in a demanding world where everything is going so fast. So we need to get together every time it's possible to empower family ties, and
Mhm.
especially for children to grow up knowing each other and associated to each other, like me and my cousins.
Are family occasions as important today as they were for former generations?
Um, Unfortunately, no. It's getting because, as I mentioned before, the world is going so fast. Because so family ties are getting weaker and weaker day after day. But it's still so important and so comfortable to be with your family. I think we are not yet so practical and pragmatic. We're still emotional.
Yes, then let's talk about any recent social changes in your country. How has the role of elderly people in the family changed in recent times?
Well, in the past, the elderly had had a great role. They were controlling the whole family. Their appearance and point of views were so important. But day after day, in this generation nowadays, it's not so important. But they are still have their great role. But it has been changed. It's only nowadays an spiritual rule and out of respect. But every single man or lady have their own perspective in life, and they don't accept any restrictions or other point of views from others, especially the elderly.
Yes, true. Who has more power and influence in the family today? Young people or grandparents?
It's difficult and tough question to be answered, but I think yeah, the young people, they didn't take control, but they take control over their own lives, and it's not about the family. The family is doesn't run like the past. It's now just the gathering and ties to your relatives. But in some governments in Egypt yet, um, it still exists. At least strong ties, and the grandparents or parents still still taking control over the whole family. But in the capital, in Cairo here, it doesn't exist anymore.
Hmm. In the future, what kind of units or groups will people live in, do you think?
In Egypt,
Yes.
yeah, mainly apartments. Mainly people are living in apartments in the city here, or other cities like Alexandria, Cairo, and Tanta, for example. But in other rural areas, and villages, they are still living in their own houses, bigger houses, private houses, and it's better for family ties. The ties are much more stronger because you are living in the same unit together. So
Mhm.
you have to talk to each other and you have to obey the elderly here. But in Cairo, every single man or lady have their own life, and then they are inhabitant in small areas. So they are separated technically, apart of each other.
Mhm. What impact have modern lifestyles had on neighborhood communities?
Uh, a lot of impacts, as I mentioned, living in apartments, small apartments in a big city, where most of people are business and practical oriented. They are not people or emotional oriented anymore, as 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 well as and similar to, I mean, villages and rural areas. So these technological and these demographical circumstances affects a lot affect a lot the lifestyle of the people.
Mhm. Okay, yes, great. That is the end of our own test. Your estimated
Okay,
score is
thank you
7.
so much.
Yeah, thank you so
Really?
much for you. Yeah,
I
and
feel I am so bad.
no, it's not actually. It's perfect. The
Really?
way yeah, the intonation of voice and the way you speak is extremely fluent. Fine. So definitely your fluency score is great, except some few pauses which will not actually affect the score a lot because they're not so many, right? They are
Especially
moderate.
in French.
Ah, yes.